What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Amalgam Show. I'm one of your hosts, Keena Johnson, alongside Nathaniel Redden.
Hey, what's going on? I always feel so awkward at this point. It's like, it's me. Yep, you've just introduced me, and now I'm saying hi.
Dean Kaminsky.
Yeah, mine will be shorter than that. How you going?
And Shannon Haegler.
What's up?
Wow.
That's how you do it.
Beating us all.
Well, you could do like a bit like, oh, sandwiches are cool, or pimp out your favourite place.
I'm sorry, I'm not 2012 Nathaniel anymore.
Is that a good thing or a bad
It's a
thing?
good thing.
Neither's great.
Lol, that's so random.
Oh, memes.
That's
Yeah,
2018 Nathaniel. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just not as frequent.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Well,
Yeah, but I used to actually just
Memes-
say memes. My
memes
dudes.
to him, memes to him is what squanch is to squanchy.
I'm just memeing in the corner.
I am memeing in here.
I mean my family. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ugh. Dean, what's the Amalgam Show about?
The Amalgam Show is about pop culture things and nerdy stuff that we care about, and we talk about it, and we have a good time.
That's correct. Well done. You can
Yeah.
go home now. No.
Yeah, awesome. Alright, I'm here every week.
No.
I'm here sometimes. Bad, buddy.
We have some housekeeping. Be sure to check out our Amalgam Games Lab, where Shannon and I talk about the gaming industry. If you have any comments for the show, please, if you have any questions, rather, comment below or email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com.
It's not just limited to questions. Can be statements,
Statements,
opinions,
ads,
interactions.
yes.
Sponsorship deals.
You know,
Sponsorship deals, yes.
Could be dreams.
pornography links.
I don't really need that.
No, I don't want other
No,
people's
but like,
porn.
you know, a comment's a comment. Anything you want.
Usually a fake account. when
Community
they come through.
engagement.
Do it. Link me to some free movies. Let's see what happens.
All movies are
Again,
free.
you don't.
I don't need it, but again, a comment's a comment.
Let's see what happens.
Like,
Let's see what we got.
the only limit's your imagination.
Yeah, exactly.
If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe and click the bell and, I don't know, pray to Naruto.
Believe it.
Believe it. What have we been into this week, guys?
Believe
Fucking
it.
into this coffee right now, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's good coffee.
Apparently,
I've been getting better because I make it every morning now.
into coffees. Nice.
Who wants to go first?
I don't know.
So,
I can go first. So I've been doing stuff, even though I shouldn't be, sure that because I should be doing my assignment. But I played Bloodstain, Ghost of the Moon.
How dare you?
It is a part of a Kickstarter that came out, and this is like an NES Castlevania clone.
How very dare you?
I remember this thing.
Yeah.
Didn't it take forever to come out?
Yeah, well, the original game that they're focusing on, that's more Metroidvania-y, is still happening. And then this was a stretch goal that they reached, and they're like, we'll just make a quick NES game.
Stretch goal is make another game that we didn't promise to make in the first place.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's good, it's fun, it's short. I beat the game in like 2 hours. But then it's like, oh no, the guy died, and to save his soul, you gotta play the game again, except with one character, and with all the characters from the start. So that's interesting. Like, have you guys ever played a Castlevania game?
No.
No, fuck.
I think I saw the preview for the anime on Netflix.
The anime's good. You should
Yeah.
watch it. Even though there's only 4 episodes, and it's not even the full
I
season.
remember you and Kyron talking about it once, and I was like, oh, cool, vampires. And that was it.
When it finally gets good, that's when they end the first season of 4 episodes, and the next season's meant to be 8. Like, oh, this was meant to be a 12-episode season. You guys just cut it short. But you know, you have all like the things like you can use a whip with one character who can also jump really high. You have a magic guy who just protects you.
This is starting to sound like Trine.
Maybe I've never seen Trine.
Shrine
I've seen the
is
logo.
when you're one person, but you can switch between 3 characters because they all touch a crystal at the same time
And then they
at the
like
start, and then they
fuse
fuse together.
bodies.
So you can be a warrior, or an archer, or a mage, and it's all to do with solving puzzles and killing people. That's pretty much it.
This one's not really about solving puzzles. It's just about getting through the level.
Yeah.
But is it the same concept where you can switch between characters?
Yeah, on the go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so each character's just better at certain things.
Certain things. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. The final boss was hard, which is what you want out of a final boss. Simple but hard.
Like Fable 2.
I never played.
That wasn't hard. That was just simple. It let me down, man.
I was keen for a big boss fight.
You know
And
what?
even if
the
you,
real big boss was just a mountain. Mountain at foot.
when you leave it, you don't even kill the final boss. Reva does.
He's just like,
He
bang.
gets up and he's like, man, I'm
pretty
sick
sure
of
we've
this
bitched
talking.
about this exact thing like
Yeah,
4 times on this
probably.
channel.
You've
Probably.
been Molyneuxed.
Just it
Absolutely
fucking
Molyneux.
it sucks. And then Fable 3 is like, oh, here's an actual boss level. It's like, oh, nice.
Yeah, but the game is shit.
Yeah,
Didn't mind.
I didn't mind Fable 3. But I still wasn't happy with the boss level because it was just like, you have to kill your friend. If you haven't played Fable 3, you're lost, man. Like,
Sorry.
spoilers. I would say spoilers, but I'm not sorry. It's been out
No
for
one
years.
cares about Fable 3.
I do.
No, I don't mean like that. Like, if you care about that game, you played and finished it. No one's getting around to, I'm going to play Fable 3.
Yeah.
Because there's no Fable 4 on the horizon. There's nothing. Like,
On the Forza Horizon?
no, on the Horizon Zero Dawn.
Fucking PlayStation elitists. God damn it.
Fuck yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
you fucked up and
Yeah.
haven't bought a PS4 yet. I fucked up, but I did buy
I
a
fucked
PS4.
up. I fucked up in not buying one. Oh,
So true.
fucking got him.
And we weren't even thinking elitist. You're just...
No, but it's just
Fucking
like,
Xbox
Oh,
elitist.
Horizon Zero
He's
Dawn.
just self-conscious. He's just self-conscious. Like,
They
oh.
started the joke with Forza Horizon and Xbox exclusive. Like, fuck
yeah,
you.
and that was cool. And
My
then
only
you had
problem
the
with Forza
genre.
Horizon 3 is that while it's set in Australia, you still drive on the American side of the road.
It's so
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, of course, because they have to appeal to the American audience.
But
Well, they-
America can die.
Guys, they forgot. They forgot, alright? Just leave them alone.
It should be the new Atlantis at the bottom
Look,
of the ocean.
I'm not protecting Horizon Zero Dawn here. I've never played it.
It's a
You
good
just
game.
bought her. You haven't played it.
I just... What, that I haven't played Horizon...
Yeah, Zero Dawn. It's an
Yeah.
amazing video game.
Yeah.
You just said you didn't play it.
What? No. I never said that. I said you guys were elitist and I don't own a PlayStation. I never said I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn.
Anyway, we're getting off track.
Two very different things, alright?
So I also played the H1Z1 beta.
Yeah, how was that?
Not good.
Yeah,
It's like,
didn't think it would be.
it's how PUBG... I wasn't there when PUBG first started, but it seems like how PUBG first started, where it's super glitchy. They don't have a bus or a plane that you fly in on.
When it first started, you couldn't even, like, climb over things. You had to, like, crouch jump.
Okay.
And then PUBG was like, hey, we'll let you jump through shit. But then
Well,
they...
it makes sense because PUBG's based on the H1Z1 model. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
already
but,
had a
that,
bunch
but
of
that's,
stuff.
that's what I mean. When PUBG first came out, like that,
Yeah.
that was one of the things.
Yeah, like
and
H1Z1.
it's come
Yeah.
a long way.
Yeah,
because
H1Z1
it had the backing.
should feel like super beta PUBG because
Yeah.
that's what it.
That's what it was.
But it
based
should be
on.
done.
Because the guy that made PUBG, PlayerUnknown, he made H1Z1, and then he was like, oh, well, he didn't make it. He made the battle royale mode in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he made his own game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how.
Isn't H1Z1 an armor mod?
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
so. Yeah.
Yep.
And then...
Everything's an armor mod eventually.
Yeah. yeah.
Armor
is.
You know, it's not good. It's super glitchy. Like, you just parachute into this random area, and I don't even... Like, it's not clear what you have to do. And when you aim, like, a third person, and when you aim, it goes to first person, like an old, like, PS2 shooter. I'm like, this doesn't feel good at all.
It took the world
PUBG
by
did
storm.
Well, does
I thought
that.
you could choose.
You can.
Well, you can hold in, and you'll kind of hit fire more accurately, or you can click in, and you'll like look through the scope.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's a choice, whereas this is just like... You're walking around in third person, and then you aim in third person.
Yeah.
In first person, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no like middle ground. But yeah, H1Z1 kind of took the world by storm in a similar way that PUBG did back when it
'Cause
first
it
came
had-
out. Because its original mode is just like a massive
Survival.
Yeah, it's like a survival multiplayer
MMO
mode, and it was
survival
just.
thing.
I mean, it's essentially PUBG because it was like when you die, you lose all your shit, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah,
It was when
But the
the
difference-
world...
again.
But the difference was the world was continuous.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like PUBG where it's like there's a set amount of time when you get down to one, someone wins. It was just, oh, you died, you can jump back in and it's the same people. And if you manage to find the dude that killed you, good luck to you. But
Yeah.
you could jump
Go in
back
and
into the
take
world
shit
and
back.
keep going. So that was the first thing. It was just the Battle Royale mode turned it into like a single one match game mode.
Yeah. So it's not good. I don't recommend it. They keep putting out updates like twice every day. I'm like, I'm not about this. I should delete it.
You don't want them to fix it?
I want them to fix it. I just don't want them to like be just taking up my bandwidth.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fix it, then put the patch out. Don't put the patches out constantly.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
also,
minor text differences. Alright, great.
also played Zone of the Enders 2 demo.
Nice.
It's a remake of Zone of the Enders 2 on the PS2, which had like a PS3.
Did you kill the Ender Dragon, or...?
No. It's a mech game.
It's not a good game.
So, it's like
The
Evangelion,
Ender Dragon's
except
not in
less
it.
existential.
Yeah, right.
It's you get the mech, you fly around, pew 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 pew. I don't really know what the story is, but it looks good. For a PS2
Sound
game.
effects sound
You get the
horrible.
Yeah.
You get the mech, you fly around and you go pew 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 pew
Hey, no, it wasn't that high pitch. It was a pew 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 pew.
pew pew
Right?
pew pew.
Video games.
It's like
right?
genius.
It's a good game, right? And one of them classic pew pew games. It's a pew pew. Get out of here with that.
You get close enough on pew pew, and it goes into swinging swords. When you get close enough to
How's
people.
that go? Swish swish.
No, it's like
No, it's swinging swords.
Swinging
Swinging
swords.
swords.
That's the name.
I'm a swinging my sword.
Oh no,
Do
Tabascus.
you like my sword? My diamond sword?
please stop.
Oops, sexual assault charges.
Damn it! Not
Do
again.
you like my swords?
The interesting thing about this is that I think I had a demo of this or the first game on a demo disc back on the PS2 game,
It's crazy.
and Kyron and I did not know what the game was because I don't think we could read yet properly.
What are you doing with a game called Zone of the Enders if you can't read?
They were like 16, they couldn't read.
No, it was on the same disc as like Dark Cloud, which I've finally come to realize. Not Dark Cloud, the other Dark Kingdom, or I don't know. Dark Hearts.
Dark cloud.
Perfect Dark.
No, I wish. I
Dark
think.
Horse?
Dark
Arisen?
War, yeah. No, anyway.
Dark Whore! I said horse!
I didn't say whore.
Ah,
Dark hose.
neither did I.
Oh, Jesus.
But anyway, yeah, it was a demo disc. We played it a lot. There was a lot of weird games that we don't even know the title of. We're just like, that's weird.
Nice.
And then I finished the show Krypton last night.
Well done.
It's
Did it die yet?
no,
Not the show, the planet.
you could have gone for both.
Either way.
They got it renewed. The planet didn't die. They saved the planet, but they didn't save Superman.
What a dick.
Because
Is he
there's a-
dead? Or is
No.
he just like, he's
The whole
out
point-
now?
Travel.
Yes, time travel. So you travel back. So they travel back in time. Like, here's Superman cape. Look, it's fading at the bottom. Doesn't that suck? He's gonna die. And it's like either save Superman or save Krypton. And everyone's like, we want to save Krypton rather than this guy that we don't know. But then the guy from the present just like, but Superman, he's important. He saved billions of lives every day. Whereas everyone's like, that's weird. And then at the end of it, the cape is like, the cape's there and it's full. And then it transforms into General Zod's cape.
Oh, rips.
So they fucked up.
Oh.
It's got a lot of good time stuff. Like, General Zod is in the show. He's the son of Seg-El, which is Superman's grandfather, which makes him his like half uncle or something. Superman's half uncle now.
Half uncle.
Half uncle.
So he doesn't have the same mum as his dad.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What else?
Doesn't have the same mum as his dad.
Yeah.
Wait.
So
I don't even want to
So
think about it.
Superman's dad has a different mum to General Zod, but has the same father. That's why he's a half uncle and not his uncle.
Okay, I
Yeah.
understand.
Come on, guys,
I
keep
thought
up.
you were talking about Superman's mum having a different.
No.
No,
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Nathaniel.
pretty obvious, come
that
on.
sentence made no fucking sense.
Didn't have the same mum as his dad. Come on,
It had,
get out of here with you.
what?
With your shit. I'm used to complicated families, right? That made sense. That made sense to me.
Hurt so much.
You're like, I have a brother and
I remember
I
when you
have two
first
brothers
told
and a
me that
sister.
you had a stepmom, and I was like so curious as to how that works. And I was just like, so how does this work?
So your parents aren't together?
Yeah.
Or like they
Well, you were the
are, but
first
you have a
person.
second mom.
You were the first person who was actually able to like talk to me about it without going, you don't need to know about that yet. Because every time I ask my parents, they're just like, you're too young. Every time I ask my siblings, they're just like,
It's just a
you're
fucking-
too young.
It's just
so
it's
I
just a
asked you.
step parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked you,
That's
and you're like,
weird.
oh, this. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why they couldn't
Your
explain
parents
that.
split
to me.
up and then they get a new partner.
That's how it works.
Generally they get married, and that's when they become.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. You know it now. We've had this conversation before.
No, it's a revelation.
It's changing again. It comes with a new meaning.
Now it's General Zod's game.
Different mom, same dad.
Also, Doomsday's in it. He's in like a shell, in like a, what do you call it?
Capsule.
Yeah, like a pod. You're like, oh no, it's Doomsday. The elves and the Zods made it a couple of hundred years ago, and if they unleash it, it's gonna kill everyone.
Zod isn't a letter, okay? Get out of here.
Zod. It's when you say Z, but in
Yeah.
a New Zealand
Have like
accent.
have like a stroke in between. It's a Zod, bro. You don't even know.
There's
Speaking
this
of which,
really
I
cool
watched that
line where, like, they have to kneel down to like give blood to unlock the Doomsday tube thing.
Of course.
And Zod kneels down, and he's like, "I'm not used to being in this position,"
Haha.
referencing Neil before
Sex.
Zod.
Oh.
Oh.
Jesus,
Now it's General
Dean.
Zod's king.
But yeah, no, I like the show. Like the first 4 episodes are shit, but then
That's
it
what he
gets
was getting at.
no.
You're like, he was kneeling, and I was like,
Kneeling.
"Ugh."
I feel like you could find something like that somewhere though.
Yeah, I'll come
Zod
here,
in
baby.
Doomsday.
Yeah, come here, baby. Let me zod all over your face.
It's just a quick Google away.
Zod all over your face. That means snap your
Limits
neck.
your imagination.
I'm not artistic enough to draw that.
Does Zod all over your face mean snap your neck?
What?
No.
That was what happened at the end of Man
No,
of Steel.
Keena. No, Keena, you're too young. Move on.
You're too young. You have to find your own Dean. I'm sorry.
Keena's taken choking to a next level. It's like, let me snap your neck, man.
Anyway,
crazy.
that's what I've been into this week.
Choking
Snapping
me,
necks.
Whoa.
Snap my neck, Zod. Pay me like one of
I
your,
actually
Snap
did
me like one of your French
one
girls.
of your Krypton girls.
snap me like fucking Gwen Stacy.
Did I show you that guy's like meme where it's like the most impactful snap, the Thanos
which one
or
was
the Gwen Stacy? I'm like, fuck.
In all honesty, they probably like my emotions probably felt about the same for both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Gwen Stacy one was pretty rough.
Yeah.
I think it's more Gwen Stacy because I know everyone's
It
going
was
to come back
because-
after.
Yeah,
Just-
well, I think.
Have you seen it? You've seen it now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
Christ.
Because,
Fucking hell.
sorry, yesterday.
Well, the thing is, both of them.
Yeah.
Both of
It's
them-
all fresh in my mind.
Dee Dee leads the party.
Why do you think I
Both
want
of
to drink so
those
bad? It's hitting me hard.
You were saying, Nathaniel?
What was I doing the other day where I was like?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, I was. I'll explain later, but basically I was playing Destiny 2 and I was like, there was something that came up that looked like Stark.
Oh,
and I'm like,
Pokemon
Mr.
Go,
Stark, I don't feel so good. And then everyone on TeamSpeak was like, no!
Stop!
But, no, both of those scenes, though, I think what made them impactful was like, they were always, the heroes were so close
Yeah.
to like
So close.
resolving the thing. And you think they're going to.
Fucking
It's like,
Star-Lord.
you're like, oh, it's going to get resolved. And then they
Yeah.
die anyway, and you're just like, what? No, this is a superhero movie. This can't happen.
The
Yeah.
Spider-Man one is rough because I fully expected the whole way through. Like, they hadn't... Up until that point, that really hadn't
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
And
to
where-
me, I thought this was an entire homage in Amazing Spider-Man 2, like what happened in the first Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was just like, you save the people or Mary Jane, and he saves both of them because he's a superhero. Whereas, like, yeah, I'm like, oh, they're just doing the same thing, and she's not going to actually die, and then she died. I'm like,
And the thing is,
Oh.
though, he did catch her, but it was like a second.
Split
Yeah.
second.
Well,
To, like, where it just,
the
like,
web was like
stretched.
it's strung out, and
Yeah.
then she just like snapped
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
back.
and that's what happens.
That's
in
why
the,
she
and
was
it's
off
such
the
a
ground,
rough
yeah.
visual, too.
Yeah,
they don't cut away; they show it. And
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, you could hear when I saw it at the whole cinema. You could hear the whole cinema audibly go like, "Whoa!" Like it was rough.
I didn't hear that. I heard my friend whisper something into my ear that sounded terrible. I'm not going to say what it is, though.
Jesus.
What kind of friends you got?
It was Lister.
That'll do
And
it.
this is what he did.
Hi Zod.
He was just like, fuck her while she's warm.
Ah,
And
no!
I was like, no!
Oh.
Okay, you don't need to hear that, audience.
No,
Not
I'm
at
gonna,
all.
they probably picked up.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Mm.
And I was like, no!
We here at the Amalgam Show apologise.
I did a lot this week. I did a ton this week, actually. I
That's
got my
good.
teeth cleaned, went to the dentist.
fancy.
Generally, I
Got my-
clean mine every morning.
Got my hair cut.
And every afternoon.
You see this? You see this bad boy? I don't have as much hair anymore, which is really weird because
Yeah,
my hair doesn't
Which is
usually...
great for the audio podcast.
It's like, yeah, look at my hair. It's great. Oh, here it
Can you guys
Can
hear
you picture
this?
it in slow motion?
No.
Picture it in slow motion.
Yeah.
First of all, they don't know what
Can
the
the-
new haircut looks like.
Yeah, can the
Anything.
thumbnail for this one just be Nathaniel's new haircut?
That's not going to get used.
And then I also went and got my eyes tested. Turns out my eyes are worse and I need to get a new prescription.
Turns out I'm legally blind.
No, I ordered my new
I
glasses.
thought I
over
was
here.
black.
But it's just for reading. It's because I'm starting an
Can't
office
read?
job. No, it's because I started an office job and I'm looking at a computer. My glasses are like transitional, so they're fine at the top, but
Well, the
they
way you
magnify
spell-
at the bottom. So if I'm reading
Right.
like this, they're fine. But because I'm looking at the computer screen,
You're looking through the
I'm
different
looking
lens,
through the
yeah.
different part of the lens.
I mean, the way that you spell organize up there, yeah, you probably do need glasses. Right at the bottom. First
yeah, yeah.
Organize?
Organize.
Organize.
Oh, nice.
Oralize?
Oh, nice. There's so many spelling errors.
You
in
get
those
on me
things.
for
Zod?
this.
No.
I haven't been in that position.
But also played God of War. That was great.
It's a good game, isn't it?
I haven't finished it yet.
Fucking
You
finish
played
it.
it last week too.
Yeah,
and the week
and
before
I'm
that.
still going.
It's a long ass game.
It's really hard to
good.
play when you're working full time as well, and you get
And
home and
playing
you're like,
Destiny 2.
I only just started that yesterday, but I'll get to that. I also watched Deadpool 2,
Oh yeah.
and that was good.
That's like
Did we talk about Deadpool 2?
I talked about I saw it. It's
You
Days
saw
of
it,
Future
yeah,
Past.
briefly last week.
But we've all seen it now.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
You haven't?
Oh.
I don't care.
Oh, you
No.
don't care about
It's
it.
Days of Future Past.
It doesn't matter that much because I mean, it's
Well, you put this,
20th Century Fox.
Yeah, it's,
I said
it's not like Infinity War where there's a
Yeah,
big
it's like
spoiler.
big-
But
Like,
it's so fucking funny.
It's what happened last time was that I didn't see Deadpool for like a year after it came out,
Yeah.
and when I saw
It would
it,
have the same impact.
yeah, exactly. When I saw it, I was like, "This is fucking good." Like, it doesn't matter when or what
Yeah.
happens. Like, you just watch it because
Yeah.
it's a fun ride.
It,
So
like you
I'll
can't
see
spoil
it,
it.
but I
I
don't
think
care.
there's like a bunch of Easter egg spoilers.
Yeah.
And there is like one character spoiler, which wasn't in the marketing. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
As far
Yeah.
as I remember, like pretty much the entire plot of Deadpool had been spoiled to me by the time I watched it, but I completely forgotten all of it.
Yeah.
By the time like the movie starts, because you just like, it's good enough that you're just invested. Those movies.
It's amazing. I liked my favorite part of the entire movie was when Deadpool says to Cable, "Is dubstep still a thing in the future?" and then Cable's like, "I don't know what dubstep is," and then he's like, "Oh, it's like let me show you" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Bangarang starts playing.
No, he says dubstep is for pussies.
Oh, dubstep is
he's
for
like,
pussies.
he's like, how dare you? And then they start fighting to Bangarang.
Which I'm not sure if it's a great joke or a horrible joke.
It's-
I
Dubstep
found
is
it pretty funny.
dead.
No, that's why.
But that's the thing.
hilarious.
He's like,
Yeah.
dubstep is for pussies. He's like, how dare you? And
It's
then
like,
they
who
go
are
to
you?
like, they go to like the roots of it. They're just like,
Wow, you're really... I love my favorite part. Other than that, would have had to be the quote where he's like, "Wow, you're really dark. Are you sure you're not from the DC universe?"
Spoilers, by the way, people.
oh yeah, if you haven't seen it,
Oh, that was in the
Deadpool
trailer. That was in the
Yeah.
trailer.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Again, I don't watch trailers, so.
There was another good bit. My favorite part is the start of it,
Yeah.
where spoilers for Deadpool 2. It's him getting like super pissy that Fox killed Logan.
yeah. Well,
And just like him
Oh
like,
yeah.
I can't even get me my own fucking movie and goes, died on me, the fuck Fox, fuck Hugh Jackman, fuck Wolverine. It's so good.
The Easter eggs at the end are so amazing.
It's so good.
dude, yeah.
Maybe I should go see it now.
It's pretty funny.
Seems like a good
It's
movie.
funny.
It's
if
hard
you-
to live up to
If you
the
saw
first one.
X-Men Origins and you were like, "Wow, that's disappointing," it's hilarious. The Easter eggs at the end.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like you said,
Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
he says it's not as good as the first one, and I think it's the same problem that Guardians of the Galaxy runs into. Of like, well, you've got to make another Deadpool movie, but if you do another Deadpool movie, it's diminishing returns because people have already seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they've seen it the first time, and
They're expecting.
that's the new
That's it,
crazy
yeah.
thing. So to do it again, you kind of like, oh, I've seen this before. It's still good, but I've seen this before.
The thing
so
that
the
I think
novelty
with
wears off.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 is that it's kind of the same. It's just as good for the first one, but for different reasons. So
Right.
it kind of equals out in the end.
Okay.
But no, as well, it has like a way bigger budget, and you
Yeah,
can tell that
yeah.
in like the first.
There's so much CGI.
Like CGI, just everything. You can like the first one, you can tell there's no budget, and they point it out. Whereas this one, they're like, you have a budget, like you have a good sizable budget,
Good.
and like you can tell.
I just love the part where it's like Domino first has like her first action scene. He's
Yeah.
like, "How is luck even a superpower? How do you even like animate that and make a cool scene about it?"
Yeah.
And while that's happening, she's like walking through all this construction while everything's working for her.
Yeah,
It's also
It's fucking
amazing.
great.
Brad Pitt is in the movie, but
Yeah.
only for like 1 second.
He's like,
Really?
he's there
Yeah,
for like
that's
a
cool.
split second and then he's gone.
Yeah, he plays like an invisible guy, and then he gets shocked and he becomes uninvisible for like a second, and that's
See,
it.
And I'm like, is that? And my head
It was-
was like, yeah. I'm like,
It was so quick because I watched it and I was like, that was... And then I lean over to Georgie and I'm like, that was Brad Pitt. She's like, oh, really? And I googled it and it was like, apparently he was meant to be Cable before
Yeah,
Josh
he was-
Brolin, but
yeah.
he didn't get it. And then...
Oh yeah.
And then they were like, "Oh, let's put the Vanisher in it." Who
Yeah.
his actual superpower was teleportation. That's why he's the Vanisher, because he just vanishes out of thin air.
Right,
But
cool,
instead,
that
they
is.
made him invisible, and they were like, "Okay, we're gonna have this one actor play this guy for like a split second, who do we get? And they got one of the hardest actors to get in Hollywood. To play it. And he was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
Because his kids love Deadpool 1, so he's like, fuck yeah, I'll fucking do it.
That's the thing with Deadpool, is that like now everyone's clamoring to be a part of it.
Everyone wants to be in it.
You know
Terry
how-
Crews was in it.
Yeah.
You know how
Yeah,
Josh
like that.
Brolin's in a lot of movies recently as
Yeah,
well? He
yeah.
keeps on like mentioning that throughout the movie. Like,
He keeps calling him
calm down,
different
Thanos.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, I gotta see this one. I gotta see this.
It's fun.
And it's amazing that the main antagonist is a fucking New Zealand kid.
Yeah, just
It's
this
the New Zealand kid from A Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
It's
alright.
And it's
Kid from
like, he can't actually go see the movie because it's 16.
Yeah, yeah. It's fucked up.
But he's like, fuck you, man.
Fuck you. I love it.
And Cable wants to kill him because apparently he turns into like this big bad guy. If he gets his first kill, he turns into a bad guy.
Which
So-
is the plot of
Days
of Future
Yeah.
Past.
Yeah.
So
is it?
Deadpool
More
like,
or less.
is trying to stop Cable from doing that while still being Cable. Cable says something to him and he's like, you know what? That's what best buds say.
It's fun.
Sounds good.
Anything else?
Oh, Colossal was awesome in it.
Yeah.
I
Colossus.
also played
Colossus,
Destiny 2. I downloaded that and played it because Reese was like, I want to play Destiny 2 with you. And I'm like,
How was that
okay.
clusterfuck?
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah. Destiny
It's
2, it's a good
fun.
game.
It's not
Fun
a
to
bad
play with
game,
friends.
it's just, yeah, it's...
But it's nowhere near as
It has-
entertaining as
if
Destiny
you get left
1.
behind, though, it's hard to get into. Like, I remember with Destiny, like
Did
the
you-
first one,
Yeah.
I played it. Like, I played the shit out of it, and then
Yeah,
I never got any
must have done 60
DLC.
hours into it.
Yeah, I never got any of the DLC, and then I like played it like 2 years after it came out, and I didn't know what the fuck was happening,
Mhm.
and everyone was like, light level 300 or whatever, and
Yeah.
I was still like 22.
Yeah,
Because
the problem.
the
Yeah,
way
they
that
changed
first did
everything.
it,
Yeah, but the
And I
problem
was
with
just
Destiny is that like the first game was like it plays really well. It's got a really fascinating look, and like you're like, ooh, I'm intrigued by this world. But it had nowhere near enough content. And then the 2 DLCs came out, and they were middling to shit. And then they do the Taken King, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But if you didn't play it in the interim and then just picked it up at Taken King, or even picked it up after that, you have no fucking clue what's going on. They've
Well,
changed
that's
so
that's the
many
thing. Like,
things.
I watched people play like the raids. So
Yeah.
I was curious about the puzzles and all that
Yeah.
shit. And then I saw the Taken King. And I was like, fuck, that actually looks really good.
It's really good. That's
and
a really
then
good expansion.
I got back into it, and I was like, okay, I had no idea what the fuck's going on. And then Destiny 2 came out, but I don't think I had a next gen console when it came out. And
It
then
was
when
last
I
year.
Yeah, you guys were all playing it
Was
on
it last
Xbox, I think.
Yeah, it was
maybe
last
I-
year.
maybe I did.
Oh wait.
Oh no, I think I got it later than when it came out. So everyone had been playing it for like a month before I got
Yeah,
it.
the problem with Destiny is that every time the expansion comes out, it's good for about 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and,
and
then
then
everyone
people
rings it
just
dry.
goes home, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, cool, we're done with this game.
It's
until
like
the
it's
next
like
one.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
Like everyone gets to the top level and they get all the gear that they want and then they go home.
yeah, and if you come to it after that, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's right.
But it's fun to play with games. Play with friends. I
Yeah.
played.
It's a really good
I
social
played
game.
like 2 hours of it, maybe
I love-
3.
I love the snap that you sent. It's like, who do I choose? Instinct,
Valor,
Valor,
Mystic, or Instinct. Yeah. I think it's probably still on my story. I'll
Ridiculous.
see if I still have it on there.
Yeah, no.
You know, that was fun.
I thought you were genuinely like asking for opinions, and I was like,
I was, because I'm like, what do I choose? Because I couldn't get onto Reese or Mark, the 2 people I'm going to play it with. But by the time I made a Facebook group chat, I'm like, what do I choose? And then Reese's like, you can choose anything, we'll just choose the other ones because we've already played it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, then I'll go Hunter. And then Mark's like, fuck you, I'm Hunter boy. And I'm like, alright, well then I'll go Tank. And then Reese's like, actually, I kind of want to go Tank because I've already done
cunts.
Warlock. And I'm like, okay, so I'll go Warlock. You could have just said that.
Yeah, I just said go Warlock. Fuck.
God.
The good thing about Destiny is that like all of those feel good to play. They're all fun.
I started playing Destiny 2, and I don't know what to choose. Valor, Mystic, or Instinct.
because they're different colors.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all of them feel fun to play.
Well, that's the thing. Like, when I first played Destiny, like how you start with your first class, like with Destiny and Destiny 2 anyway. You start with your first class, and that's the way that everyone was. Like, if you were then playing Crucible, you would see a Warlock and you'd be like, oh fuck, look out for his Nova Bomb.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And then the subclasses came into it, and I was the first one out of my usual fire team, like my group of 6, to use the second subclass for Warlock, which was Sunsinger, which basically
Is it the Resurrection?
that was the resurrection one.
Yeah.
And that was the thing, like,
That thing was so OP when it first came out.
yeah, well that's generally what caught everyone off guard. Because I think we then did the raid after I like fully maxed it out. Because I maxed it out before Voidwalker. Because I just liked Sunsinger part. And yeah, the other warlock in my group of 6, he was using Nova Bomb, and then when we were all dead, and then I used my resurrection, everyone was like, "Oh, okay, that's really OP."
yeah,
and it's just like
OP.
it was ridiculous.
Especially
with the solar grenades, and you could push that boss off the side.
Yeah,
like,
the thing that frustrated me about the original Destiny was that all of the classes and subclasses were really good. Like, even though the Sunslinger was OP...
Blade Dancer was fucked in Crucible.
Exactly, yeah.
The moment you saw one come around the corner, you're like, okay, I'm dead.
But the thing that pissed me off was that I always play the Titan class, and the Defender sucks shit.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
the worst.
true. Yeah.
The new Sentinel class is amazing. Because you're essentially Captain America.
That's the one where you, like, put up the shield.
Yeah, you have a shield
like,
that you can bash people with and do, like, throwing it. You are Captain America.
Right.
It's fucking
Gotcha.
rad.
Okay.
And yeah, like, you've got all the throwing attacks and everything, and it's really cool. And so that's your Void one, rather than Destiny 1 where it's just bubble. Yay, I take less damage.
Drop
bubble.
shield. Yeah.
And like, well, that's fucking useless.
Well, that's the thing. You either went for a Titan Smash, which, like, you can clear out an area and then you're safe for about 5 seconds before the rest of the team joins in.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you get your little bubble and it's like...
Well,
it's a pain in the ass to infiltrate if you've got, like... If someone uses it and then they've got 3 other teammates around them. Because you've got to, like... They can see you coming at them and then you get to...
But it was based on coordination. Like, you couldn't do it on... Playing on your own as a defender sucked.
Yeah.
Like, but once you had friends,
solo play, you can do anything. Especially against, like, the Hive.
Yeah, but the best thing about the other one was the regular Titan was just that you could do your smash and, like, do your area of effect. And then there's a bunch of abilities where, like, everyone you killed, you got more light orbs to then boost up your special again. Yeah. So you could just spam it constantly, especially if you're getting, like, you know...
A lot of kills.
Yeah. If you're getting a lot of, like, what are they called?
Light
a lot of ads. Like,
right, yeah,
like in raids and stuff, there's like
well, that's
just
the
a bunch
thing.
of people
With
just
the
go in
Hive, whenever they sent out the Thralls, any of those types of attacks, like the Nova Bomb, the Titan Smash, or Blade Dancer, like if you just got in the middle of it all and you fucked everyone up, you would drop like fucking near 10 to 12 orbs. And it would just like...
And then you just pick them all up and just start again.
It would fill up someone's super and then some.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous.
How was your experience with Destiny 2, Nathaniel?
Oh, it's pretty good. That's it. I haven't played a whole lot of it.
New classes
pretty
are
good.
really
I played...
So you went Warlock, yeah?
Yeah, I went Warlock.
And you got
but the thing is like...
one.
The tutorial went for fucking ages.
It shits me off.
And when I
the
finished...
fact I couldn't use Sunsinger, I had to use Voidwalker.
because they switch everything up.
Yeah. But I
when you start the game though.
I finished the tutorial finally. In the tutorial there's a part where you just walk very slowly for fucking ages.
Yeah.
That was fucking annoying.
Yeah, well it was to give dialogue.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
backstory.
I like that's the other thing. Like I haven't heard much because the entire time I was on TeamSpeak and everyone's like, "Hey guys, do you like
memes?
Do you like this?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm just trying to listen."
Yeah. No,
Well, that's the thing. You barely played number 1 as well.
I only played
You
it that
started
little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
The best thing for Destiny is always like play the opening level by yourself and then jump into a team because then it doesn't matter from that point. But if you want to know what's going on, play the start by yourself and then move on.
At least the content was better for number 2.
The
Like,
content-
number 1, it was just like, oh, go to this planet and then let your ghost come out. All right, now defend it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, now jump away. Oh, there's a really strong guy that you have to defeat
Yeah.
while your ghost does some shit.
Now
for
crawl
2
through this
minutes.
cave and shoot this shit.
Yeah,
Like
It's
that.
really interesting because when have you guys played the Star Destiny 2 yet?
Yeah, I've finished it.
Yeah.
Basically, I really liked that it got like the city got taken over and it was a completely different area you were in.
Yeah, it was a good way for them to solve the problem of like, what do you do with your Destiny 1 character? I know, we just rip the light from you and take everything
Just
away
take
from
it
you.
all away.
Yeah.
Destiny 3, you lose your head.
Yeah, I mean...
And you are the son of your Destiny 2 character.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with the
Or
next
daughter.
one. If they
I'm
do
not
it.
discriminating.
I feel like there's less character options. I can't remember much from
There
one.
wasn't much for number 1.
Yeah, there was never a lot.
I remember when I made my character in number 1, and it looked really good in the character creation screen.
Yeah.
And then when I loaded the game, he looked like
dog
shit.
Yeah, that's always the thing. They have always a different lighting in the character selection. So when you actually get into like the game's normal lighting, you're like, I fucked up. My skin's
Yeah.
too dark, all too
Yeah.
light, and you're like,
Yeah.
It looks
The
all-
only thing I liked about my character was his green eyes. Like, I made them glow, and he had, like, blue skin. It was,
Right.
like,
Oh, you were an
it comes
Awoken,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
went,
Awoken, yeah.
I went with one of the synthetics, like the Exos.
Oh, yeah.
And he just had like it was all like cool looking, but I just had this one thing where I just had like the chunk taken out of his head. So he's got like a
got,
hole.
like,
in,
brain
yeah,
damage.
he's got like a hole in his head, like wires sticking out of it. I'm like, yeah, that's my guy. I was glad it carried over into the next game too. So it's just this robot walking around with like half a head missing.
Yeah.
Like, hi guys, I'm here to save the world.
Yeah. I was pretty happy when I could bring my character across, but also he looked shit. So I was like,
Who are the guys that take over at the start of Destiny
the
2?
Cabal, but
The
it's
Cabal.
the...
It's,
were they
Um,
going to say the kebabs?
The Kebabs. Were they in the first one?
Yeah, the Cabal are they're the race that are on Mars.
They're basically hunters from Halo, but smoother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And he's so essentially the Cabal are in like a civil war, and he's a particular general that's like
From a different faction.
yeah from a faction.
He
in
wants
the
to.
war.
He wants to control the light.
Yeah.
He wants to be the first
He-
Cabal to,
yeah.
or the
He-
first darkness to control the light.
Yeah, he essentially thinks that he's the only one worthy to control the light, so he's going to try and take it over, like take the Traveler, and he's the first person to really attempt to try and like break through the Guardians and actually fucking take over the Traveler. It's actually a
The
really
fact
cool
that he
arc.
succeeds is so stupid.
It's
I feel
so
like
weird
can
that they
never be done.
they managed to take away the light though. Like when
Well,
we were just
they
about
like
to-
constricted the Traveler, and they
Yeah.
like,
So they
they
attack
destroy
the Traveler, and then they like put that bondage mask on him.
yeah,
And that basically like
cuts the light on.
cuts
from everyone
cuts the Traveler's power out, so they can't do anything, which is why, and it also gets damaged in the process, which is why the shards fly off. And the Guardians are only able to do what they do because they're connected to the Traveler. The Traveler's been disconnected from them now, which is why they lose their powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they make a big deal of like at the start, like you can't resurrect because that's the whole
else.
whole
That's
law
how
behind
you
the
get the
resurrection.
light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the light brings you back from the dead every time.
It
So it's why
sustains you, right.
it's why they're okay with you going on deadly missions because they're like, hey, if you die, you just spawn back. It's fine. Like that's actually like the game mechanic is in the lore.
Yeah.
And
I like
so,
when games do that. Mass Effect.
yeah,
So,
and so they make a big deal of like, yeah, the light's
Like
gone. no
Assassin's
one's
Creed
got
and the drone that followed you when you're in the real world.
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do desynchronization if they do a present time Assassin's Creed.
You don't.
But that's
You
what
just die.
you just
they're not
die
going to
and
do it
restart.
present time.
They're not because that's Watch Dogs, but you just
Yeah,
die.
No, but like if they were to ever end Assassin's Creed, I know they're not going to now because they killed Desmond. And now they're just doing their own little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Making money.
Yeah, but
You could do it. You just
I feel like the best way that they could do it is try and do Unity again,
what you
but
could
properly,
do.
and
Here's-
in the present time.
Here's my thought, because the whole point of the Animus was like DNA, like you go through your ancestry. What if you just went to an ancestor who's like really close by? So like it's like 20.
You talking to your aunt.
Yeah,
You're like, hey, I had sex with my uncle the other day.
yeah.
The
No, it's
sex
like-
scene was disturbing.
Yeah, no, it's like
Walking around
I
as
think
an art in heels.
like I think
Show me the manager.
like I think the whole conceit was that the person just has to be dead. So like let's just say it's 2040.
Okay, well then you
And
want
you-
to.
Yeah, and you've got like an uncle who, or like a relative who's dead in 2020, and they did some shit, and you just follow them instead. That's how you do a future one, rather than going all the way back in the past.
What if
you
we just
do,
like
really
just
close.
have like contemporary stuff like we go to the 90s?
But
That would be
originally,
so good.
originally that was the thing.
So
Like
we
that's
just
why
have
Desmond was
Vice City.
was
They
doing what
like
he was
doing
doing.
settling
First,
stuff.
first he did Altair to learn the lore and get his,
Yeah, that's what
get his
the whole
eagle
thing-
vision,
yeah.
and then he did Ezio to get his combat skills. That's how it was. That's why before he left Abstergo, he played as Ezio for like 5 minutes, and then Lucy was like, "All right, get the fuck out. We got to go." And then he was like, "Oh, I don't know how I'm fighting these guys, but I am." That was the whole premise behind it. He was doing it to learn and also find the pieces of Eden. Then he died, and now they're just like, "Oh, you're your own character." Like for number 4, they were like, "Oh, you're your own character walking through Abstergo."
Yeah.
I feel like your character should have been learning some shit.
Yeah,
From
I mean,
what
they,
Edward's
Because they're
doing.
just game tests.
they,
Instead
they
they
just
just- yeah,
broke,
just a game
they
test.
broke it when they did 3. Like 3's ending just breaks the.
It's
lore
so sad
entirely.
too because 3 was actually my favorite with Connor.
The
I was like,
fuck is wrong
You
with
haven't
I
played
loved
4.
it.
You haven't played 4.
I did play 4. I just didn't like.
You didn't like the
I
ships.
didn't like it. Well, it's not even just the ships. I just didn't like the whole.
will
it just
say
didn't
this.
connect to me.
I will say this: it took me. I bought that game at the time it came out and alongside the launch of the PS4, and I played it for about 2 hours, and then I didn't play it for 12 months because it was just like I don't care about the game.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Flag. Like I left it for 12 months, and
See,
then
that's-
one day just picked it back up and was like, actually, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And went from there, but like I never touched like that.
It's
game
hard.
just
It's
sat
hard
there.
to like get through. Like I found that even though I knew what was coming, like for my current playthrough, even though I knew what was coming, like it was difficult to get through the first stages because it's like you wanna like if you wanna look at your ship and you wanna upgrade it, it's like progress through the story to get to this, to get to this, to get to
Yeah.
this, and it's like okay, I really don't want to do the story.
I
now,
think it's
though.
really difficult because they got everyone so invested in Ezio. Like you played 3
Oh, yeah.
games
But
with
that's
him.
what Revelations was meant to
And
do.
he had such a
It was-
personality.
But the thing is,
It was meant to cut the ties.
But it was hard. It was hard to still cut those ties. It was like,
Oh, yeah, it was
I played 3 games with this one character. Your next character better be fucking incredible. And Connor was just bland.
And they set him up to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like he's half Native American, he's half British. Like
he's half Templar, but he's half. But
Yeah,
he's an
as well.
assassin.
Yeah. I mean,
like-
the opening to that game is crazy when you against Hatham for like the first chunk
And you
of
find
it.
out he's a Templar.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, this thing's gonna be amazing, and then it just.
It just peters
I
out.
liked the entire story. I liked that entire
I
game
didn't
all
mind
the
it.
way up to when they were like,
When
"Oh,
they
Desmond,
killed
you gotta
Desmond.
die," and I was like, "Are you fucking
Yeah,
Yeah,
either you
that-
die or the world burns and you become their like savior / liberator / whatever else.
Yeah, it drove me nuts that game. Because, like you said, they had such an interesting idea for a character, and they just kind of didn't do anything.
I mean, it was nearly as well. It was worse than when they killed Lucy in the second one.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is,
no,
with
that
the,
was
the-
that was in Brotherhood.
yeah, brother,
Brotherhood.
yeah, the death of Lucy though, like it came out of nowhere, but like it was a.
That just shit me off.
It was hard because I was like, oh god, what the hell are they doing?
But I
like,
like
there's nothing.
they
Lucy-
teased this like romance and they were gonna be like
I
this
guess-
power couple and then they were just like.
I guess what I was so mad about is that they were setting this thing up to be like a running story where you play through the whole thing and you learnt little bits in every game, but then each game had its own story and it was really interesting. And then you're like, yes, things are going. You get your first piece of Eden, and then that's it. And it could have been like this awesome story with an awesome twist when you could have played as Desmond in the real world and the last game, and it could have been really fucking good.
Yeah.
But then they're just like, shareholders, fine, we'll just make you money.
Yeah,
Even more like we're the only like 4 out of 10 people that enjoy that storyline.
Yeah.
Everyone else just like, I just want to play as the assassin.
I just
Like,
want
yeah.
to stab guys in the throat with the blade on the wrist.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
pretty
they-
much
yeah.
it.
That's what their playtesters said, and they were like, okay, fine.
Like and like we had 5 games of it, and they're like, fine, let's just hand it off and do whatever.
And now it's a Dark Souls light.
Is it?
Yeah, the new mechanics are essentially Dark Souls light.
What
Maybe I
for
should
Origins?
For Origins, yeah, it's
Maybe I
all on the trigger buttons.
Ah.
It's all dodge mechanics rather than
See, because
Yeah.
I played 4 for a very long time, and then because I never played Unity, I went to play Syndicate,
you
and it
won.
went from counter kill to this guy's a higher level than you, don't fight him because you'll die.
Yeah,
Like
and that's they double down more on that in Origins because it's essentially just
Syndicate was pretty good.
it was good. I liked it. It threw me for a loop because I was like, oh fuck, what do I do?
Yeah,
The parkour is
like,
so much better in Syndicate.
Yeah.
Unity's where they start the parkour.
Yeah, with
getting
the
better.
with the up and down.
Yeah, but the problem is Unity's broken in every other way. So
I've
the
seen
parkour sucks
gameplay of
shit.
it. I just never played it.
But
I
it
played the start
essentially
of Unity and I was just like,
it's
what
such a
the fuck is
fucking
going
train
on?
wreck.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm like, I get it, they're French.
He was like, oh hello, I'm French. I fuck a lot of girls.
No, he doesn't.
No,
That's
they
the
keep
problem.
like they have like either British or American accents, which I hate because like Assassin's Creed 2, they have Italian accents, but they may not be Italian.
They do explain it in Unity.
Yeah,
so
because the
he has-
translators finally fixed.
No. He's actually British. Well, he's from British.
But no one else has French accents.
I
Yeah, no, but it actually makes sense because in the French Revolution, Americans and British people
Yeah.
actually played a big role. So it makes sense that there's an American or a British person around there.
I just had a
He's-
flashback to when you first meet Uncle Mario.
Yeah.
How does it go again?
He's like, hey Ezio, is that you, Uncle Mario? It's a me,
yeah,
Mario.
that's right. Yeah.
Mario. So good.
Assassin's Creed
But
2
yeah,
is
no,
so good.
they explain why Arno doesn't have a French accent.
That was such a good game because you like set up you built up the town as well to get more money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Brotherhood,
it was like,
like,
oh
yeah.
yes. And then Brotherhood was like, you don't have the town anymore. And you're like, oh.
But you get these circle assassins.
But you get Rome. Like, you get to build Rome.
You get to
Yeah, that
train
was
assassins. That was my
I
favorite
fucking
thing. I just had like a
love
team of
Brotherhood was the
you know,
peak.
I was
That
I was
the
an I was an
best
angsty teen. I just had like a team of kick-ass
Brotherhood-
women.
Yeah.
I was like, Ezione's bitches. It's all up on this town. Fucking shit
Brotherhood
up.
only gets better with age.
Yeah.
Because you look at all the new ones, you're like, jeez, come
Yeah,
on.
Brotherhood.
But Brotherhood, man.
They should bring the Brotherhood shit back. Just like
I liked
Brotherhood
the fact that
2.
you had- I like the fact that you had your own like guild of assassins, and you fucking inducted them into the way of the assassins.
The thing that annoys me is that they've done Assassin's Creed Origins now. Like, they've done the beginning of the Assassin's Guild. And it's like, now there's kind of nowhere else to go.
yeah,
When they're
there's
gonna
other
do-
stories, but I don't think you can make them into
I
like a
don't-
40-hour RPG.
Yeah, like, I don't care about them anymore.
Unless they go east. Go east. Go to Japan. Do any
You've
fucking
already
thing
done
else.
that in Origins, though. Not Origins.
Chronicles, but no one played them.
Chronicles.
And no one
Yeah, but who
likes
gives
them.
a shit?
Assassin's Creed
I played
China.
the Indian one, and then I got bored 20 minutes after.
Assassin's Creed
Because it
Rogue,
was like-
for those of you that don't have a next-gen console.
I bought Unity and Rogue on the same day,
Oh,
and
really?
I didn't play Rogue for like 12 months.
Without...
And then
Rogue's better than Unity.
yeah,
Oh, really?
Rogue
Yeah.
just Assassin's Creed 4 too, except a little bit angstier and darker.
42?
No,
It's
not
the meaning of
42.
life.
42. It's like Final Fantasy
Well,
10
it's supposed to be the end of that, like, because
yeah,
Black... No,
Holy
3,
fuck.
Black Flag, and Rogue.
and it leads into Unity.
Yeah.
How many
3
times have we gone on this rant about? Also,
don't know, it's
what
the
have
first
you
time
been
I've
into this week,
Yeah.
Dean?
Don't do this, Nathaniel! You said you didn't want to put topics in here. Oh my god!
I just realized.
I feel like Assassin's Creed is everyone's favourite.
Let's just not do
Like
a
we
topic
all
this
have
week.
issues.
We don't do topics anymore because we just go on to a
Didn't we
topic.
have a topic this time?
We do.
Did
we can
we?
get into it if we have
No,
to.
fuck off. No.
Yeah, let's not. I kind of want to
But
drink early tonight.
I did have a. I did.
We'll
There
do it
was
next
one
time.
more thing that I did this week, and that was
How
I
to wank in
learned.
a sock.
No, I did not
Oh.
do that. I learned about YouTube.
Dean
YouTube's
knows the
doing.
secrets.
Dean's doing. Dean.
I'm doing YouTube, guys.
Oi.
I'm into it.
Fuck. YouTube is doing a thing.
Where they're being fuckheads.
Yeah, they're being fuckheads again. They're taking
What
away
did
the
you
last
miss,
piece of YouTube that was original, and that was the home screen. Where when you subscribe to something, because it remind me when you hit the bell, they don't have that anymore. So you know how it used to be at the very start. It used to be you subscribe and you subscribe, you see their shit.
Oh yeah.
That's how it was. And then they were
Subscribing
like,
does
okay,
nothing.
hit the bell. If you're subscribed, that doesn't mean you always see their stuff. But if you just subscribe and hit the bell, that means you always see their stuff. And now they've changed it to, you hit the bell, you see it sometimes. But most of it's just shit YouTube
Because they're
wants you to
putting
watch.
algorithms into the sub box.
Yeah.
Like it's no.
Because now if you go, like, it used to be, if you look at your own feed, you could see what you subscribe to, and these are the people that come up. But now
in
it's
chronological order.
but now it's stuff that you have watched, and then at the top it's stuff that's recommended for you, but it's just YouTube being like, watch these guys. These are the guys that make me money. So
I don't get why they have to do that because those guys already get enough views and already have like enough money. Like let them let it go.
there's only one good thing for me that's
They
come out of
follow
that
each
so
other.
far, and that is I've actually come across 2 to 3 YouTubers that I actually quite enjoy.
But the thing, I think it depends on how much you subscribe to.
Yeah.
Because I keep my subscriptions to a very small number,
Yeah.
Right.
and
I
so
think
far
I
the
got-
the
I need to do a culling.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
because the YouTube algorithm so far for me is pretty good. Like my recommended list is usually pretty.
But that's the
decent.
thing for me. Like my recommended list is content from the last 2 or 3 channels that I've recently watched. Whereas I've got like another 10 channels that
I
I'm
think
subscribed
because-
to that I don't see anything about.
Yeah, well, I think because like my like I said, my sub boxes. I think I have 15 channels total that I'm subscribed to, and I watch most of their content constantly. And then when I look at my recommended list, it's usually like a couple of videos from theirs that I haven't watched before that cycle through and in and out.
Yeah.
And then usually there's a couple of videos from creators I've never heard of before.
Right.
But they all have the same sort of like topic lines. Like I watch a lot of game stuff on there, so there's a lot of like, and I've watched very specific game stuff, so a lot of the same video games pop up, and a lot of the same stuff. So like it works okay. I think it's just, I think the algorithm is designed better for people who have less subs. Like if you're subbing to only a couple of things. Like I will say, like when I sub to our channel, most people are like, oh, if you have a small subscriber count and small likes and small views, you'll never see them. The Amalgam Show pops up top of my feed every single time it goes
mine.
up.
Amalgam Show always comes up on mine.
Yeah. So like I think it's because I don't have many subscriptions, so this one
I have a ton though.
brings itself to the top.
Mine always comes
Huh,
up. Still.
interesting.
I always get an email
I think
But this is the only one. Like, I would do the exact same thing for things like iDubbbz. He's released a ton of content I had no idea about.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with Max Mofo. Subscribe to him. Heard nothing.
YouTube will eventually collapse in on itself at
Yeah.
some point, I feel, or someone or a competitor's going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Let's do it.
Let's make
Make a video sharing.
us tube.
our tube.
Our
I
tube.
think my favorite comment about YouTube so far is like, why don't you just take the U out of YouTube? Because that's what it is now.
Yeah, it's just tube.
It's just tube.
They just launched YouTube TV. Have you seen that?
No.
It's a fucking television channel.
You talking about YouTube Red?
No, not YouTube Red. YouTube TV.
Isn't there like where it's just TV shows?
It's
from-
essentially shows, and they all operate like television shows where there are set moments where the ads start.
Oh, there's also
and it's
and
like
it's-
just before a cliffhanger or something.
No,
or some
it's
bullshit?
just like if you watch a television show and how television breaks up their ad breaks. Yeah, sometimes before a cliffhanger, but also the YouTube it has like a timetable, like this show starts at 7, this show starts at 8.
They've also changed.
It's just a TV channel.
They've changed their monetization again. So with ads now, if they think, hey, we could still put ads on here, but we don't really think you deserve the money for it, they'll still put ads on your video. You just won't see the revenue
Fuck
for it.
off.
Yeah.
That's
And
bad.
I found out by watching some of my other favorite YouTubers that there are companies now that have like a group of people in, and they all copy strike one YouTuber if they think that they can. They've managed to get the revenue that they would have gotten it by copy striking them and making
Yeah.
money off it.
One of the YouTubers I follow, they get copyright striked for stuff that they they don't own, but like the person claiming doesn't even own. They just
they
copy it
don't
onto
own
their
it,
channel,
and then they
and like
just
the
get-
original content creator doesn't get anything. Like
Yeah.
it's a big they're usually movie clips or whatever, but
And that's
Like-
what's been revealed to be happening to people like PewDiePie. That's
Well,
been
fuck
happening.
PewDiePie. Like, honestly, fucking, who cares?
All he does-
He's a
but, like,
bajillionaire.
He doesn't. He doesn't care about the monetization. He doesn't care about his own. He's pissed off that it's happening just in general because he's
Yeah.
like, no one can come in now. Like, there's no community or anything like that because no one wants to be a YouTuber anymore because you can't make the money off of it.
But that's the thing, like, people like him have the ability to change the landscape by moving to a new platform.
Yeah.
Finding a new platform and moving, because he's got enough followers and enough dedicated ones that if he was to move off of YouTube and find another place, they'd all go with him.
But that's the problem.
Daily Motion.
Everybody, let's go to Daily Motion.
Like, he's got enough, honestly, he's got enough money along with a few other YouTubers, they could start their own.
They
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. Like that, it won't happen
Why?
because they won't do it.
Why?
There's nowhere to go, and they don't.
No, that's the thing, like, they could
like
start their
they
own.
could start their own, yeah, but they won't.
But why?
It's just how they are.
I don't get it, because, like, the money
It's like, why does it cat me out? Because I did.
No, because cat meows because it's instinct. But the option here to make a YouTube style thing is leaving literally billions of dollars on the table. These guys are millionaires. They could be trillionaires. Like if
Yeah, they
someone,
could make a bunch of
I
money.
think at this point they don't care. Like before,
And
they
that's
they
what-
they didn't even they didn't even want to be millionaires.
That's what I'm
they
saying.
probably did, but like now that they are, it's like, well, why go that extra step? They already have what they want.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're all like, oh, I care about you creators, but they're not gonna fucking do anything.
Yeah.
About it. So it's all just pandering and a facade of just like, I care about you guys. Like,
I
fuck
mean,
off, you do.
that's like saying though, if there was a school shooting and you're like, okay, that's pretty tragic. Are you doing anything to stop it?
But that's the thing. We're not the one with the power.
Like, I
I'm
know-
also
I
not
know
making
it's
a video.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
know it's a completely different area.
No, but, like,
at
it's
the end of the
the-
day,
no.
like they're complaining about it. They're trying to bring it up to people, and
No, but that's
they
the thing is
probably
that
want someone to do it.
the school shootings thing is like, there are people who don't have power that do stand up and say something. The people who have the power aren't doing anything. He's the person with the power in that scenario.
More or
That's what
less.
I'm looking at. He's the
If-
person with the power who people are saying,
He
like,
has-
we
he
want
has
another
some
option.
power.
We want something.
I think
we
the
want
people.
to do something.
I think the people with the most power would be the ones that are benefiting from the problems,
Yeah.
like Logan and Jake Paul.
Yeah, like I'm not saying he
I
has
understand
to.
how
I'm not
that
saying he
makes
has to
money.
do anything. I just think that when big time YouTube creators who make millions and millions of
Oh, yeah.
dollars off of what they do come out and say something that's like, oh yeah, man, like I'm really shitty at the YouTube for what they're doing, it comes across as disingenuous because they're still making millions and the algorithm still works for them, and they're not going to suddenly like link a bunch of their own favorite YouTubers in their videos, or they're not going to like move, like they're not going to boycott YouTube
Yeah.
No.
Which is what essentially would need to happen is for all of those big creators that benefit from this to just be like, well, fuck you, YouTube, and just go off of them for a month or whatever, and watch YouTube stock fall.
Yeah.
And make them do something. They're not going to do that because they're comfortable. They're making money. And I'm not saying he's wrong for not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like
Yeah, no, I understand.
he's got the option to do something and they're not going to. So like, whatever. We got 33 subscribers.
Yeah.
Hit that button.
If
Jesus
all
fucking
33
Christ.
subscribers gave us $1 on Patreon, we'd have $33 a month. You know what you can do with that?
Quick maths.
I'm
I'm not saying you
yeah.
can do quick
We
maths. I'm
could
just saying
have a
33 times
Netflix
one.
account.
We could. We could
A
have.
company Netflix account.
We could have an RSS feed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then he's like, oh, this
Jesus, that's
it's
fucking.
not as cool as mine, dude.
That's still
Whatever.
depressing as fuck. Alright.
Yeah. RSS feeds are hard.
Yeah.
You know what's sad about that though is that we are those subscribers as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I subscribe to a channel with anything over 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
I think.
Are you like a YouTube hipster?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I might, I don't know. I don't check subscriber counts. I follow the people I like.
That's the thing, yeah, I don't follow
I've
like
been really
BuzzFeed or
into
IGN, because usually they
a
release
few-
too many videos a day. I'm like, I don't want this.
I've been really into a few old Viners that moved to YouTube, and not like Logan or Jake Paul. I mean like Danny Gonzalez and Drew Gooden. You probably don't know them.
I know Drew.
Drew Gooden is fucking hilarious. He's the one who made that Vine who was like, I don't know if you guys would have seen it, but it's pretty popular. It's like, road work ahead. I sure hope it does. No, he was that guy.
That's pretty good.
And
That's pretty
so
good.
he moved to YouTube, and him, Danny Gonzalez, and Cody Co. I like them. I just like them
Yeah.
for what they do. Cody Co does a podcast. He does a lot of stuff, like a lot of different stuff. He has different kind of different shows on his channel. Then you've got Drew, who usually like just bags out other Viners who are making bad names for Viners.
Yeah.
So people who have moved to YouTube and they're like really shit, and he's just like, why stop doing this? You're making a bad name for everybody. And he like intros every video. It's like, welcome to YouTube.com, a website that I created.
See, that's the frustrating thing is that when everything else dies, everyone just moves to YouTube.
Yeah.
And then everyone's
Well,
moving to Patreon.
that's
like,
the
what
other
happens when
thing.
Patreon collapses in on itself?
That's the other thing. A lot of Viners, and this is what Danny does a lot. A lot of Viners didn't just move to YouTube; they moved to Musical.ly or Instagram. So he talks about them, and it's actually kind of funny some of the shit
Should be
that they
funny
do.
when they all move back to Vine 2.0.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna.
Well, when
Vine's
YouTube
dead,
eventually
and
creates
that's
its own version of Vine and everyone moves to there.
Sorry?
When YouTube eventually creates its own version of Vine, because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It'll come back because it's a
it.
trend.
YouTube
Trends-
stories will be Vine.
Yeah.
Trends are
Trends are circular.
Stories. It's,
It will fucking happen.
Yeah.
Oh my
Trends
God.
are circular, they'll come back.
oh my god.
I'm just waiting for like all of
Anyway,
the
What have you been up to,
stories.
Shannon?
Oh, jeez. Well, actually,
Just
I was,
skip you now.
Oh,
It was his birthday last weekend.
well, we can come to him.
we'll finish with him. He's the birthday boy.
I'll finish him.
Zod.
Wait, is that Sod's cape?
Actually, I was gonna say, speaking of YouTube, I actually ended up doing something really weird and crazy because of a YouTube video that popped up in my feed, and I noticed the thing. So I've gotten into weird game hacks. Specifically, I wanted to play Final Fantasy 12 again, so I started that up and found a weird thing where people figured out how to manipulate the RNG in that game. So essentially, that game is fucked up because a lot of its best weapons are all the chests in the world are random. They spawn in certain places, but they have like percentage chances of spawning.
That's right, it's a
And
single
then-
player MMO.
Yeah, and then in that chest is then a percentage of like a list of items. And like some of the best weapons in the game are like, there's a chest that spawns with a 1% chance of spawning. And then in that chest is an item with a 1% chance of being in that chest. It's like a 1 in 10,000 shot of getting it, if it even is there. So essentially they figured out that the way the random number generator works in Final Fantasy XII is that it starts its random number generating process when you open the load screen, and it like picks its sequence for the time. And so essentially the way it works is if you're wanting to do something like find a chest, you go into your save, and Final Fantasy 12 has autosave, so every time you go into a new area, it autosaves. You find the area near the chest that you want to go to, like one screen over, and let the autosave happen. So you sit there. Then you load, like after it's autosaved, you back out to the home screen. To the home screen.
Yeah.
Like you close the whole thing down.
Right.
Load it up.
Right.
There, you will have created another save, which is at the very beginning of the game. It's before you've even... It's the first save point in the game. You save there, and you walk away, and you cast the Cure magic spell. And because the random number generator generates everything in the game, from Cure and attack points and hit points and all that kind of stuff, you keep spamming the Cure until a certain random generated 3 numbers appear in a row. When those 3 numbers appear, you can then quit that, not to the game, not to the PlayStation desktop, but to the just the title screen. Load your other save, and the random number generator is set in the spot to spawn the thing that you wanted with the exact item you wanted. So then you just go across, grab the thing, and it's a 100% chance of getting it.
Sounds like a lot of effort.
It's a lot easier than walking up to the chest, seeing that it's empty, and then reloading the save 10,000 times.
Yeah.
So it's literally like, it sounds very complicated when you're saying it, but it's literally like
I understand
a couple of minutes of work, and you can get like game-breaking weapons at the start of the game.
Right.
And it was just insane watching this guy do it. Of like, yeah, as soon as you get like these 3 numbers, like basically the Cure values of how much HP you're healing, yeah. When those 3 line up in a certain sequence, you can get blah item. And there are like different ones for different items in the game. So I was like, fuck, and I just started doing that and got like a bunch of different rare items that I've never gotten in this game before because I couldn't be fucked to do their stupid random number generator. And now I'm like, dude, this game's super easy!
Do you just like auto battle everything now? Just with these weapons?
No, because the weapons... Like there's one specific one called the Satan Grat, which is a fire type bow that you equip fire arrows to, and then essentially you build a certain loadout for the character that's holding it, and essentially it's like you cast a spell that makes an enemy weak to fire, and then you attach these certain arrows, and it does like this particular weapon. If it's a enemy that's already weak to fire, then you cast the spell to make them weaker to fire, and then you shoot 1 arrow. It's the most damage you can deal in that game. Jesus. Like, it's the highest rate possible. So, like, you do have to set up certain things still, but, like, for the most part, once you've got these things, they break the game, and it's amazing. Also, it means you don't have to grind for, like, shitty Square Enix type grinding of, like, here, just spend 40 hours.
Run out, and then run back in.
Yeah, exactly.
Run out of the
spend 40 hours killing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
We had wild boars in the forest.
Other than that, I've been spending the entire week avoiding getting sick because Vanessa's been sick all week.
Yeah,
like bad flu.
Called
bad
her
flu.
up and she was like, "I've got the flu." I'm like, "Well, I'm not visiting
you." Like she caught the flu and she was like, "I'm not feeling so well." So we went to the chemist.
Not feeling too good, Mr. Stark.
Yeah, essentially. We went to the chemist and I was like, "We need to go and like talk to the pharmacist and not just like get off the shelf cold and flu tablets, like some good stuff." So we went to the chemist and Vanessa went up and she was like all fluey, like bad everything, and the pharmacist took one look at her and was like, "Hand over your license," because they gave her the like crazy cold and flu medals with the pseudoephedrine in it, which is essentially speed for those who are listening.
Awesome.
Yeah. So they gave her that crazy stuff, and she took that for a day and was like, "This is not helping," and I was like, "Go see a doctor." And she went to a doctor and she grabbed the medication she was taking. She was like, "I've been taking this and it's not helping." The doctor looked at what she was taking and was like, "I'm going to prescribe you some hardcore antibiotics because if that's not working, you're fucked." So I gave her like huge doses of antibiotics. She's much better now, but I've been spending the entire week just like avoiding her around the house because I don't want to get sick because I have like a fairly shoddy immune system. Like it takes a lot for me to get sick, but when I'm sick, I'm down for the count. Like I'm gone for a week. And I can't afford that right now. I'm saving for a wedding.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so fuck that. And that's been me for a week.
Avoiding Your fiance.
Yes, essentially. Which would be me for my entire life.
I don't want to deal.
I can't right now. Just please stop.
Nice.
Honey, I'm home.
Yeah. Honey, pew.
What have you been up to, Dean?
Yeah, Dean. You weren't here last week. You got 2 weeks.
Anyway, that's the Amalgam show.
I turned 20.
Yeah.
You're only 20.
Yeah. I was 19 before Monday.
I'm still 19.
Yeah, he's still 19. What a baby, am I right? Yeah, no. Had my birthday on Monday. Bought me
It's
an...
Kyron's birthday tomorrow.
It is Kyron's birthday tomorrow.
Is that why you're going drinking tonight? His birthday thing?
For my birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, and celebrating Kyron's birthday, obviously. No, yeah, so...
He's dead.
He's in
Why am
Rome.
I laughing? He's dead! Sorry.
Kyron, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
He can't be listening.
He's in Roma.
He's dead.
If you're listening from the other side, you asshole.
They don't get
Why-
internet
why
out
you
there.
gotta-
Kyron's in the lounger.
Why you gotta... why
Need
you
a
gotta
Ouija
assume
board.
this shit?
Kyron.
Yeah, got a car.
Fuck you.
My...
Is it the
My-
car you've always dreamed of?
It's a very nice car.
That's good.
It's not the car I've always dreamed of.
Is it a
The
bad
car
one?
I've always dreamed of is an Audi R8. Or a Mustang.
Howdy cock. Anyway.
Or an Audi Mustang.
It's a Top Gear joke. Every time someone says Audi, cock. Yeah.
Oh.
Because Audi drivers are usually dickheads.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. That's why when I get one, I'm just gonna be like, oh. But
Yeah.
also,
Yeah. It's a
Um,
nice car, absolutely.
yeah, no,
Everyone who drives
yeah.
it's a dickhead.
yeah, exactly.
Mostly
Okay.
because they spend most of their time like tailgating.
It's Audi, Mercedes, and taxis.
that good old taxi brand.
Yeah, that's
They're always the assholes on the road.
That's just Toyota.
Yeah.
They're
That's just
always
Prius, dude.
alright.
Yeah, no, that's actually that's a pretty good 3.
Yeah.
I would throw Commodore drivers in there as well, but you know.
Well,
Yes,
Sometimes
yes,
happens.
and no. If they can even start the car.
Yeah, the car. Yeah, if it gets out of the driveway, they're a dick.
Those cars break down all the time and everyone still loves them.
yeah, so I got a car. I got my lovely girlfriend bought me a bedside table and a jumper.
Fancy.
Yeah, that was good.
Wait, you said you turned 20, not 35.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Bedside table, a
her-
cardigan.
Her mum got me a card with some cashola in it. That was fun.
It's always nice, hey.
Yeah. And,
Free money!
And
Yay!
her sister bought me a 6-pack of beer. And I was
There
like,
we
oh,
go. There's
there
the
we go.
There's the 20-year-old.
I turned 20. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good.
Buy me a 6-pack of beer.
I spent most of it driving, so that's why I'm drinking tonight. Plus it's Saturday, and let's not go out on a Monday.
Let's go out.
I lied last podcast when I said that I'd finished the DLC for DMC, and I didn't finish it because I didn't play it.
That was 2 weeks ago, dude.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
Jeez, what the
I'm
fuck
very
is
sorry about my efforts, but it happened.
Dean,
Not acceptable.
why do you lie?
We need content.
Oh, fucking...
Why did you lie? Why would you do this to me?
Next time, maybe, if I...
Kyron would finish the DLC.
I've been finding...
Alright, Dan, you got 3 weeks to
I've
finish
been
that.
finding the Mayan stele. I've been
Oh yeah, you
doing
like
all the
missions are
Templar contracts and missions, and I got the Templar outfit. I got the Mayan outfit in
Wait,
Wait,
you playing number
great.
1?
No, that's 4.
in 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought you were playing Origin. Like, why are the mines in Egypt?
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I've nearly finished the story because I've just been coasting. Now that I can get all of the upgrades possible, I'm just focusing on that.
Yeah.
I want to take down the legendary ships before I finish the game for some reason.
It's really good.
Mainly,
It's
I just
fun.
don't want to have my heart ripped out. But
Title of this episode,
It's gonna happen.
mostly Assassin's Creed.
yeah,
Mostly
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed.
Um,
And does YouTube suck?
Let's find out.
I'm
Also, I went to the dentist.
I'm really hating.
Really long time.
My girlfriend's sick.
It's just a Fallout Boy song.
All right, we don't need to get like the fucking whole script just put into the title.
The thumbnail
Yeah, we
is
do.
just
The fu-
broken up.
the whole title is "What's up, everybody." It's the whole fucking
We just have a transcript.
whole transcript. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word I was thinking of. Yeah, I'm really scared for when I do everything in that game and have to get all the collectibles, because it's not just in the fucking main cities, but I have to then sail around and get all the random animus
all the time,
fragments
yeah.
and chests in like random islands.
Oh,
Yep.
the shanties.
It's
The
shanties are so
shanties
good.
are actually pretty good.
They're good.
It's
They're
giving me-
fucking.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're a
it's
pain in the
collecting
arse,
them is
but
yeah. The shanties are
it's-
amazing. I
It's
love
giving
listening
me
to them.
it's giving me a sense of progression, because I've completed I've got most of the shanties from like the main cities.
Yeah.
I think I've not got Havana, but the rest I've got.
Yeah.
And and I've got I'll just be sailing around and I'll just get like this new song and I'll be like,
I love listening to them.
Yeah.
They're amazing, but
It's
getting
so
them
good.
was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I got the special edition, so I have the shanties on a CD, which is now on my iPod or phone or whatever we have.
Oh, I
these
have
days.
that
remember-
somewhere too.
Ah,
Yeah.
iPods.
I remember when I was living with Kyron and
Jesus.
he was cooking dinner once and he just started playing the shanty. I was like, the fuck, what are you doing? He's like, it's from Assassin's Creed 4. I was like, oh. And then he kept playing it, and then after a while I was just like,
Yeah.
it's like, god damn it, it's in my head now.
There's always like that one friend at some point in the year that is just really into Sailor songs for some
Yeah.
reason.
Is there?
For me, there is. I remember in 2015, I went to Big Ass Tour for Amity Affliction and A Day to Remember, and Caleb Cadell came along, my friend, and he was just listening to like, it was like electronic Sailor music.
What the fuck?
And I was just like, fuck is going on?
It's super weird.
It actually sounded kind of nice, but it was weird.
The only time I've ever had friends be into Sailor music was when Assassin's Creed 4 came out and everyone was super into shanties.
Yeah.
After that, it's been like, eh.
It was like
Wait till
2000
Skull and Bones comes out.
2015 was
2019
Caleb.
now.
2016 was Mullen, and then 2017 was Kyron.
Yeah, I think it's just your friends.
Yeah, and your brother.
Hey guys, you know how all of our friends, there's
Yeah.
always that one friend that's into shanties? Oh my god.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, everyone's got that one guy that's
That
super
one
into
guy.
shanties.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I do. I have that one guy. His name is Keena.
Yeah,
Row, row the boat.
that's a bad shanty. Let's skip that one.
Well, I don't have a harmonizer person thing. People to harmony with my
A harmonica.
singing.
Keep going, keep digging yourself out.
Da-da-da. Love me a shanty.
What else you been into?
What is this, One Piece?
No.
No, we're only into good anime.
Expanding
right?
jutsu, isn't that One Piece? No.
That's
I said we're only into
I
good
know
anime.
it's Naruto.
I said
that's
we're
Boruto's
only
dad.
into
That's Boruto's dad.
good
Boruto's
anime.
dad's grandson's dad.
I'm into good anime.
Dude,
Pop Team
Sailor
Epic.
Moon.
Pop Team
Sailor Moon.
Epic.
Tuxedo Mask, am I right?
Fuck yeah. Now we're
Uh,
getting somewhere.
yeah.
Keep going.
No, I've been trying to do all the Assassin's contracts because I want the pistol swords. But that's gonna
Oh, yeah,
that's gonna chew through my ammo so fucking hard. But it'll be fun. Yeah. And now that I'm immune to bullets, that's fun. I'll look at a guard and he'll be like, "Hey, stop!" And he'll aim at me and I'm just like, "Fucking do it! I dare you!
Do it, cunt, do it.
You won't."
Oh man. I
Um,
remember how like the ending of that game is actually kind of like somber and sad.
it rips my heart out. That's
Yeah.
why I haven't finished it yet. I'm
It's
just like,
rough.
what is
It's
going on?
It's
So
like you're
basically, the
sailing
whole
on the grey ocean.
the whole time he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get rich and I'm gonna go back to my love and
Yeah.
we're gonna be happy." And then he tries to get his love to come and find him when he finally gets rich, and then it turns out she died, but he has a daughter.
Yeah, she died and left her daughter behind, and the last like bit of that is like you just sailing on like an ocean with like fog and talking to her about her and stuff.
she's
like,
just like, "Hey, daddy," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just."
yeah,
you know,
and he's like. The whole game you're playing with Edward, and he's like a little bit upbeat and like
Yeah.
he like I said he's a
he just does whatever the fuck he wants.
yeah I've said before that like
Kicking ass, taking names.
he's literally a drunken sailor. Like the whole game, he's just stumbling his way through
That's
life.
a good shanty.
Yeah. But like he's stumbling his way through the entire game and just lucking his way in and out of the assassin's stuff.
Yeah.
And then like at the end of it he's suddenly just like super somber and super depressed.
I just
And you're
love
like,
how pissed
"Fuck."
off everyone got when they first played that game, and he kills that assassin. What is it, Daniel Walpole?
Yeah.
And then he's putting on the suit, and he's looking at all his shit. Then he grabs the hidden blades, and everyone's like, "Yes, yes, yes!" And he's like, "Ah, fuck that shit."
Yeah, yeah.
He shoves it to the side, and he just walks off.
it's
And
'cause
everyone's like, "No, pick him up, go!" And you just like I personally just walked back to where I thought they were. I was like, "Fucking, can you interact? Can you pick them up? Do
Well,
something."
I thought it was
just like,
broken. Or does he just say it's broken when they ask him where it is?
yeah, that's
Okay,
because it's like, oh, all assassins have it. He's like, yeah, no, mine broke. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, here's some new ones.
I thought that was great. I thought
Yeah.
it was a good little foreshadowing
Yeah.
of him being like, oh, fuck this thing.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm gonna get it
what?
soon.
Still don't have a thing? Papa!
I'm gonna stab so many motherfuckers with that.
Yeah, I have.
Origins will be real tough for you then, because it's not even invented at the beginning of
I
the
don't have
game.
hidden blades?
Well, the game itself explains how the hidden blade came to be.
Oh, so you have
And
to
it even-
unlock them.
Yeah, you have to find it. Like it's not a thing at the start of that game
You have
because
to find it?
You have to invent it.
yeah, like
Oh, okay.
but you don't invent it. It's
Yeah.
it's weird. Like it's Assassin's Creed Origins, but they still don't explain
Where the hidden
fully
blade came
what
from.
it is. But essentially,
You still have to cut off your finger?
it explains why that's a thing.
Well,
Isn't it because
In
the
the-
finger it goes through the finger?
Yeah.
That's where it was
No,
initially
it's-
positioned,
do you
or
wanna-
if they
do you wanna-
changed it.
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they get the hidden blade and they start figuring it out. And the character you play as Bayek, the first time he does it, he accidentally cuts his finger off. Like he fucks up, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And because he's the first assassin, he's the one who starts it all. Ever since then, it's just a thing that.
that's just like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, fuck
Leonardo, can you not cut my finger off?
Yeah, like so
Leonardo?
it's a thing that happened because Bayek, the
That's
first
so
assassin,
American.
fucked up and like, oh shit.
That's how the entire American government system is formed.
They fucked up.
Like,
Yeah.
the two system, like, the two-term presidency, is because George Washington, like, I'm tired of this, like, after 2 terms, and he's just like, and that's how it happened until, like, what's his chops? FDR. Franklin D.
FDR.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna go 3, and everyone's like, thank you for getting us out of the Depression and World War II, but we don't ever want that again.
Yeah, that sucks shit. But yeah, like they explain the Assassin's Blade somewhat, but they explain why the reason the cut off your ring finger thing is a thing is not because you have to, it's because the first time someone did it, they cut off their finger and they're like, you probably should just remove that.
I feel like if he's accidentally done it though, like if you hadn't removed it, like every once in a while, you'd at least nick your fucking finger, and that'd just be a pain
I
in the
think-
ass.
I
Rather than just not
Throughout
having
the, throughout the other games, they explained it in different ways. One of the explanations at one point, I'm pretty sure, was like it was because you cut off like your
That's your
ring
marriage
finger
finger.
because
Once you join
Yeah.
the creed,
it's like
then
you're
that's
married
it.
to the creed.
Yeah.
yeah, no, but like
And then the other one
Yeah.
was when it like that's because
Essentially
when they
do it.
explained it, it was like
When
it's because
Leonardo says
you,
it,
you
yeah.
cover you cover your finger and it comes through.
Yeah.
But the thing is the whole point behind that story that they did in Origins is that it's just like any other myth that the world tells. It started as something small and it grew into this big like once you're in the creed, you're married to the creed.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind
Turns
of
out some guy's just like,
yeah.
oh fuck!
Yeah, so, like, someone just, yeah, exactly. Someone was just like, oh, fuck that shit, fuck it. And so, like, he loses his finger, and then, like, I'm betting the next person he trains or whatever was just like, oh, how come you lost your finger? And he's like, well, this blade, like, fucks it up. So you might as
He's
well...
like halfway through his sentence. He's like, "With this blade," he's like, "Oh, really?"
Yeah.
Cuts it off.
But, like, essentially, it's just, yeah, it spirals out of control, and it's a legend that the assassins couldn't even control.
Right.
Is that this thing of, like, oh, you cut your finger off for the assassin's blade. Which I thought was, like, a cool little thing.
That's
to
how
it.
myth goes.
Yeah,
I
how
like
myths
that.
start. They always start as something small and dumb, and they turn into this giant thing. And then it takes until Ezio for someone to be like, "This is stupid. Why are we cutting our
Well,
fingers
to be
off?"
fair, he was ready to do it, and then Leonardo was like, "Nah, just joshing you, mate.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
fixed it."
they replace it with the branding because he brands
Yeah, he
himself
brands
on his
his
finger.
finger, yeah.
And that's how they change that. It's like, okay, cool. You don't have to cut your fucking finger off.
It's a pretty important finger. That's why we have 5 of them. All of them are important.
In some degree. Yeah, except your pinky. You can
What's
get
your pinky for? Yeah.
Pinky's like good for like getting in the little places. You know what I mean?
General Zod.
Zod?
You?
Fuck. Yeah.
That's just gonna be our sexual innuendo.
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Every time something happens, it's just gonna be like,
Hi, Zod.
Hello.
it's the new Sinestro. It was just a thing.
Sinestro,
Oh, guys, it's okay. Irrelevant to the podcast, but there's a
No,
gecko
there's
over
a
there, and
gecko.
it has 2 tails.
Again,
does.
good for the
Fuck that gecko.
Or
Take
is
a
it
photo
a
of that
fifth
gecko.
leg?
That can be the thumbnail.
Yeah, take a photo of that fucking gecko.
It's like
Look at that
the
fucking thing.
tail was almost cut off, and then it's just sprouted a new
Dude, he
one.
didn't get a hidden blade.
But
Make sure you flash as an awesome.
speaking of fingers going missing, someone at my work cut off their finger.
Fuck it. Is he an assassin?
It wasn't at work. He did it
I
at
was gonna
home,
say,
and
it's
then
crazy-
still came to work.
It's a
and
crazy
he just-
office environment.
Well, no, like he didn't do it at work. He did it at home and called an ambulance. They didn't come in 2 hours, so he was like, "Nah, fuck it, don't worry about it."
If they don't come in 15 minutes, you can go home.
But basically,
If they don't come in 15 minutes, your finger is free.
But basically, he passed out. head through the wall, all this sort of shit. Heaps of stuff happened.
Of course he did. He's fucking lost a finger.
Like, well, it wasn't even like a full. It was like the tip of his pinky.
That's enough.
Yeah, it wasn't, and it was bleeding like fuck. Basically, I came into work on Monday, and I'm like, oh, why is everyone crowded around his office? Walk in, they're like, he cut his fucking finger off. He didn't even go to the doctors. I'm like, you're our boss. You're the doctor.
What? You should have started with not a guy at work. That wasn't a guy at work. That's your boss cut his finger off.
Yeah.
Fuck. Oh.
Yeah, and he still came to work without going to the doctor, so we convinced him eventually to go to the hospital.
Yeah, because you're passing out and bleeding everywhere.
Well, he had it all bandaged up by that time. But basically, the thing is,
he's still
when something is disconnected from your body, you have a certain amount of time until you put it back on.
Yeah.
He went to the doctors and they reattached it after like 12 hours.
There's...
I mean, to be fair, that's not like a joint or anything. Like,
yeah,
he'd still be
like
able to
there have been advancements. That time is actually a little bit longer now. But like, if you lose an entire finger, you've got like limited time because it's the nerve endings and stuff they need to get right. The
but basically, they didn't even stitch it; they put a band-aid on it.
Yeah, it'll heal up.
Yeah, I was just like,
They did that when I dropped a knife on my foot.
Can we stop?
They were just like, oh, man, it's a synthetic scab. And I was
better.
like, well, it'll scab by itself, but okay.
Oh man. Oh.
The idea of that.
it's a synthetic scab. It'll scab by itself, though. You know that, right? You're a doctor.
Are you a doctor? I don't have my medical
No,
degree.
see, that's the thing where like it.
I
They're the
just
medical.
remember when you did that, the fucking reasoning was washing up and he dropped it.
I wasn't washing up. I was emptying the
I
dishwasher.
wasn't washing up. I was throwing knives at a wall. Okay.
I was emptying the dishwasher, and then like I bumped it, and a knife fell, and it hit my foot, and I thought it was the handle. And I was just like, oh, that really hurt. Like, ow, like that. Like thinking like the same thing as like stubbing a toe. Like it hit my foot, and I was like, oh fuck, that kind of hurt. And then I kept doing what I was doing. And I was like, huh. And I looked down. And my, like, because I felt that my foot was wet. And I was like,
no,
there must
it's
be a
the
bit of water on
worst.
the ground.
It's slippery.
And I looked down
worst.
and it's just like squirting blood out the top. I was like, that shouldn't be doing that.
It shouldn't.
And my family's like sitting in the lounge room, like just over the counter. I was like, hey, can someone get me some tissues? I've stabbed my foot. And my sister's like, oh, you idiot. And she like walks over, grabs the tissues, walks around and sees all the blood on the floor. She's like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, no.
I was like, what? It's blood. Like, come on, help me mop it up. And she's like, you need more than a tissue. And everyone like comes over and they're like, holy shit! And Dad's sitting on the couch like, you'll be right.
I fucking hate
Dad's
that
always
shit.
like that.
I
I broke
fucking
my arm and like, nah, you fucking sprained
I
it.
hate that shit of just like, hey, she'll be right. Like, no, blood's meant to be in your body. There's no like, oh, she'll be right. Put a tissue on it. Put an oily rag around it, and
But even I was
It's
just
not
like,
bleeding. That's where it's supposed to be.
yeah, fuck
like
off.
I understand I was in shock, but I was like, everyone's freaking out. I'm like, it's alright.
No, it's
It'll be
not.
fine, like-
It's not.
I
Blood
have,
comes out of your body. That is a bad thing.
I have
Internal
more blood.
bleeding.
That is a sign that
Internal
blood's
bleeding,
supposed
that's
to
where
be.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no.
if blood comes out of your body, that is a sign something has gone wrong and needs to be rectified.
Look, silver lining though, I got out of unpacking the dishwasher, so
Oh,
that was pretty good.
yeah, Dean never unpacked the
I like
dishwasher
barely.
again.
No,
And the
I
Emmy
had to do it
Awards
the next
goes to-
night. I just,
Dean's like, oh, I'm gonna unpack the dishwasher, and everyone's like, get the suit ready, like helmet, seatbelt,
I was pretty pissed
Seal
off.
cap boots.
yeah, foam fingers.
I was pretty pissed off at the next day at school where I fucking rocked up with one shoe and a thong. I
Ah.
was like, I was this ratty teenager with like half a shoe. I was like,
You're always
I got-
a teenager.
I was just like limping around and everyone's
No
like,
more
"You
ratty
okay?"
teenager
I'm like,
anymore,
"You wanna
you're
see it?"
20.
I got really shitty at a guy at school once because he broke his leg and he had to wear like he could only
How fucking dare he?
yeah fuck him no but he had to wear like at our school he had to wear long pants all year
Okay.
Ew.
and so he got to wear shorts because he had a broken leg so he couldn't put his cast in the thing.
Don't tell me
And
you
you
got
were
shitty
like,
at him for that.
No because he had this cast on for like
Yeah.
ages because he kept doing dumb shit. And then immediately after he got the cast off and his leg was fine, he broke his arm. And then
You have to wear shorts.
yeah, well no, but then he
Short sleeve shirts.
well
Like,
yeah,
oh.
what the fuck? Well, it was yeah, like so. Anyway, he broke his arm and he was doing all this shit for ages, and he just kept getting like sympathy from everyone. And I was like, fuck this guy. But the thing that pissed me off was that about a week after he had got his shit taken off, I was in a sporting accident where I tore like some ligaments in my back.
Shit.
Alright.
And so I needed to like carry like
You needed to wear a crop top.
no, I needed to have like bandages and some support stuff, and I like basically limped everywhere for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
And the second I came into school limping with like this thing like strapped around me, he was like, "Oh, is your baby hurt?" And I was like, "Fuck you! You've worn a cast for 6 months, you piece of shit." And they're like, "Oh, I guess it hurts so much." Like, fuck off! It just pissed me off to no end.
Kicked him in the ribs.
He's such a cunt.
That's fair enough. I was waiting for you to be like, and then no one gave me any sympathy.
No one gave me shots.
Like I didn't give a shit about any of that. It was just the second that I was in pain and he wasn't. He was like, "Oh,
Why
do
did
you
you
big
mention
deal?
shorts?
Fuck you."
Why did you even bring shorts up?
What?
You were talking about long pants and shorts?
No, because he got to do something that we did, like the rest of us couldn't.
okay.
And like I had to have like this stuff attached to my school uniform, so I basically didn't wear my school uniform for a few weeks because it was like I just can't. Like I can't put on a button-up shirt and strap all this around. I had to just wear my regular stuff.
I just can't get... I've got this image in my head of you wearing a crop top now.
That is a bad image. That is a bad image.
Cursed images.
Of course. Hey, rule 34. Good.
Yeah.
Oh my
Only limits your
god!
imagination.
Alright.
I'm glad this
let's
isn't a
wrap
video
this up.
podcast.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Are we?
We
We
get
don't
out of
want-
this hot box.
Yeah.
It's not that hot.
I
What is
need
the
to
time?
drink.
It's been
That's
an
pretty
hour
good.
and a half.
Yeah, we're done well.
We don't want to talk about...
No, I need to drink.
No. We need
No,
to...
we'll cover that when we've got more
Yeah,
time.
we'll
Okay.
cover it later.
If you enjoyed this episode, I certainly have. Be sure to like and subscribe. What?
No, it's just a flashback to the rest of the episode. Go.
the memory.
Yeah. Remember
Do you
that
guys
time?
remember those times? Good times!
Soft focus General Zod.
Zod, am I right? Oh, what an inside joke.
Be sure to check out Amalgam's Games Lab, where Shannon and I talk about video games, even more intensely than what we have done today.
Yes.
If you have any questions for the show, please comment below or email us at amalgamshow@gmail.com. That's it. Hit the bell.
That's it.
Boycott YouTube. But
Yeah.
subscribe to us.
Boycott YouTube.
Boycott YouTube, but please keep subscribing
Hit
to
like
us.
and subscribe. Fuck off.
Watch our shit, but boycott YouTube.
When we get millions of dollars, we'll start our
Millions and
I'm
billions.
happy to get like $30. Like, honestly.
Well, we can't start one with $30, Keena. That's unrealistic.
We just need the right connections.
Bye.
What kind of connections?
At least cable 3.0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, boy. Bye.